Hello, Movie Club. I'm Fred in bed, and you are watching my review of Lovelace, which is a movie from the past year starring Amanda Seyfried, Peter Sarsgaard, a bunch of other actors. And in short, it is about the life, career, and, that's basically it. The life and career of Linda Lovelace, who is the biggest porn star who ever lived. Like, forget Ron Jeremy, forget Jenna Jameson. Not that I know who they are, but Linda Lovelace. Even if you don't watch porn, you know who Linda Lovelace is. She was the star of Deep Throat, which is one of the most popular pornographic films of all time. And so, with a subject matter like pornography, which is a very controversial subject matter even today, special care would have to be done in order to make sure that this movie gets its message across. And yeah, so how did it stack up? I'm going to talk about the acting first, real briefly. This movie had a lot of actors in it, a lot of people that you'll recognize. First off, they all give good performances. Nobody in this movie is outstandingly good, though. Okay? They're good performances, but not great ones. For example, you have actors, supporting actors like Hank Azaria, Bobby Cannavale, what's his name? Chris Noth, Robert Patrick, the T-1000, right? Yeah, he was in this movie for a little bit. Sharon Stone, the latter of the two play Linda Lovelace's parents, and they do a pretty good job. And Juno Temple, who I swear is just determined to star in every single indie film known to man. That being said, I thought they all were fine. They did what they were supposed to do. They gave performances that they were supposed to give. But there were three actors in particular in this movie that I'm on the fence about their performances, because they did a pretty good job, all in all. But, Okay, let's start with James Franco. Yes, James Franco is in this movie, and he plays Hugh Hefner. Weird choice, casting director. And I'm not saying that because James Franco does not give off the impression that he is Hugh Hefner. He doesn't even attempt to do a Hugh Hefner impression or copy some of his mannerisms or anything like that. He pops up on screen. He's like, "Hi, I'm Hugh Hefner." He's in a couple scenes and he leaves. And honestly, it's mostly a forgettable performance. Even if you're a fan of James Franco, I have to think that this performance of his isn't going to be one of your favorites. And I like James Franco okay as an actor, but honestly, I feel like that part could have been cut out of the movie entirely, and it would have been more focused, and they would have had some extra film. So, yeah. And then there's Peter Sarsgaard. Peter Sarsgaard has been in so many movies where he has played so many characters, a very wide array of characters, and in those wide array of characters, he has played villains, he's played dicks and assholes and all this. And in this movie, he, again, plays a dick, an asshole. He is a scumbag in this movie, and you really hate him. My problem with this is I've seen this performance out of Peter Sarsgaard before, a million times over. So I wasn't that blown away by it as everybody else was when this movie came out. So, good performance. I would have liked to see something a little different. I would have loved to see another actor play this part. I don't know who exactly would have played it, but it would have been something interesting to see instead of just seeing Peter Sarsgaard pretty much play the same role that he played in Boys Don't Cry. And then finally, we've got to talk about Amanda Seyfried because, yeah, that's she's the star of the movie, and she does give a good performance. Amanda Seyfried is one of those actresses that when I see her name on a movie poster, I get a little bit concerned because she has tended to be great in movies like Mean Girls. She is hilarious in Mean Girls. But then you also have movies like Red Riding Hood, and her performance in Les Mis was awful. So, and I love Les Mis. I'm just saying that she was awful in it. But so in this movie, she gives a really good performance. Like, by the end of the movie, I was completely sold on her. The problem is, with a character like this, with a personality like Linda Lovelace, you have to sell me from the very beginning. And she does a pretty good job throughout the whole movie of playing with this character and going through all these hardships. But I don't think the script and Amanda Seyfried's performance matched up very well. Granted, Amanda Seyfried looks like Linda Lovelace, and she does a really great job at playing something who is just ruined. Like, she starts out in this movie and she is just she's a great person despite a few flaws. And by the end of this movie, she is ruined by this industry and by Chuck Trainer, her husband. And it's a really compelling story. But I don't think that the way she performed it matched up with the script at all. And I actually don't think that's Amanda Seyfried's fault. I think it's the fault of the script. The script jumps around way too much. And it's directed very well, I'll give it that. But it is just, oh my god, it is so, like, scattered. It was fine. Like, the first 2/3 of the movie I thought were fine. Because they showed sort of her rise to fame and the making of Deep Throat, which I have to say was pretty damn interesting. My problem with it was simply that it was just way too scattered. There was a scene where something happened, and then all of a sudden it cuts to 6 years later, because God knows nothing happened in between those two segments. And they do fill us in on what happened in between those, but it's told in segments, and it just, like, flashes back and forth in between them. And granted, I think, like, I have liked movies that have done that before. But it just really didn't work for this. It made me, like, sit on the edge of my bed, which I'm sitting in right now, and just sort of do one of these. Huh. So, yeah, anyways, but I do think this was a very important story to put on film. A lot of people, when the trailer was released, initially saw this as a propaganda film advocating for pornography, and it is absolutely not that. There is nudity in this movie. Trust me, you will see some tits. But, for the most part, I think that this movie is actually anti-pornography. And actually, it worked really well. It made me want to stop watching porn. I don't do it that often anyway, but after this movie, I don't think I will ever look at porn the same way again. It's not just two people having sex on camera. There's so much greed and politics and debauchery that goes on between it. Oh, debauchery and porn, yeah. Smart, Vogel. But anyways, it's just like, I don't know. It was a very powerful film. I feel like, given a few slight alterations, it would have been so much better. It could have been an Oscar contender, honestly, if it were given to a different director, different writers, different actors. That's all I'm saying. So overall, I thought it was a really good film. with a lot of flaws that could have easily been fixed. However, that's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm Fred, I'm in bed, and thank you for recommending this movie. I'll see you later, movie club.